My audience, I put out a poll. I said, give me some questions for President Trump. I want to hear what you all have to say.
Oh, dear.
Personnel. Your first term, you were new to politics, which was a benefit, but in a little way has a little bit has a downside in that you don't know all the players. You're a business.
No, fuck you. No. False premise. He ran on the best people. He ran on the problem is DC, and you don't need any of these fucking people, and they're stupid anyways. He's got everybody on speed dial outside it, and he'll call the best people. No, you don't get to bitch that you didn't know all the right people. Just because the Heritage Foundation and the fucking Federalist Society handed you a shit list of assholes, no, you don't get to excuse yourself. The buck stops with you, you lazy bastard.
Business guy. So people recommended you hires. You had to get rid of a lot of people. A lot of them turned out to be turkeys. And they're concerned the second term.
By the way, and their replacements turned out to be turkeys, right? Like the dude patted him. He wasn't done patting himself on the back for firing Comey when he was telling himself, like, asking people around, who the fuck hired Ray? You did, you dumb motherfucker.
That we may have that same problem. I've told them, I know your team. I know they get it now. Do you have, I'm not asking for any names. I don't want you, I wouldn't dare, but do you have a set of people now
Right, don't ask for any names, because the ones he will suggest probably have pending indictments.
know you can trust when we get in, because we're not going to have a lot of time. In 2 years, there could be a midterm issue. Right. We've got 2 years to clean this disaster up. You feel like you've got a roster, like a team
So
of
when
hitters?
I first got elected, Dan, I was only, you probably heard me say this story, but I was there 17 times in Washington, D.C. So I wasn't a Washington person. I knew really nobody there.
Again, what's your point? I think it's weirder he never stayed the night. You're a well-known business person in the United States. You're very famous. You never stay the fucking night in D.C. ever? You just flew in to bribe somebody and split? Is that what that? I mean, honestly.
And mostly because I was building a hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, and a beautiful hotel that I sold to the Waldorf Astoria. You know, I did
I
great with
love
it,
that hotel.
but I did a beautiful.
Yeah, you sold it to them because you were going broke, because you couldn't keep any guests in it, even with the fucking Saudis buying entire floors.
Yeah, but that was mostly for that. So I was essentially never in Washington, so I didn't know people. So I had to rely on people, you know, for big positions. I'm saying, hey, do you know anybody that can be like this job and that job?
No, you don't get that. That's not allowed. I'm flag on the play. Bullshit. Fuck you. You said you knew the best people. You ran on hashtag the best people. This asshole ran on, I know the best people. I'll have them on fucking speed dial. I know all the best people, and we're run by stupid people, so I don't even know why you'd want anybody in D.C. to fucking start with. And then I'm going to get us out of Afghanistan. Didn't fucking do it. Now he admits he wasn't even planning on doing it in his second term.
And generally, I got it very good. We had Lighthizer, trade. We had a lot of good guys.
Jesus Christ. Lighthizer has been around for a long time.
But we also made some mistakes. Made mistakes at
like who?
Attorney General made mistakes. I made some mistakes, and I don't really blame myself for it. You know, they were highly recommended by rhinos.
Listen to this motherfucker. I don't want to blame myself.
Some mistakes. Made mistakes at Attorney General. Made mistakes. I made some mistakes, and I don't really blame myself for it. You know, they were.
I don't really blame myself. They were highly recommended by rhinos. Then you're not a leader. You aren't. That's on me. I hired that person. That's how leadership works. Not like, I don't know, these assholes totally don't. I never even saw these assholes before. Like, what a dick.
They were highly recommended by rhinos.
Tough shit. What, aren't you supposed to be able to see through that? Don't you know the best people? Don't you know that we're run by stupid people and you know who to listen to and who not to? Didn't you run on that, you lazy bastard?
And they weren't the right people. They just weren't the right people. And they were.
So who are the right people now? A name. You gonna bring Lighthizer back? Mm-hmm. Who are you gonna put in charge of the DOD? Kash Patel?
Or some other positions too. Mostly I got it right. You know, nobody ever talks about the good. We had a lot of great people.
Like?
Right. But we had some mistakes.
Yeah, like, I mean, you had a lot of great people. Like, not Mike Flynn. Like the guy, Chris Ray. No, that like, John Kelly, no. Tillerson, no. Let's see. Mike Pence. There you go. I knew I'd think of one.
And
But you fired him.
I fired him. And
No, he didn't. They resigned.
here's what happens. When I fire, because I'm famous or whatever, for whatever reason, when I fire them, immediately the book companies go to them and they say, oh, we'll give you a book if you say bad things about Trump. If Bush fired somebody, nobody cares. You know? If somebody else fired. But immediately when I fire, they go to, and they write something or they say, like Bolton was a stiff, he was a dumb guy, very stupid guy. But actually, he came in handy because he was a maniac. You know, he always wanted to go to war with people.
Yeah, he wants to bomb everyone.
He wants to bomb. So
mustache.
I just he wouldn't talk because he was stupid. But what happened is I'd bring him into a room with Putin, and Putin would say, oh, shit, Trump wants to go to war. Because Bolton was with Bush, and they, you know, think of it. They went into the middle.
Also, no, he didn't. He never brought fucking Bolton into a meeting with Putin to scare Putin that we're going to go to war with fucking Russia. What are you talking about?
They bombed the hell out of the place, and they left. You know, it's like they bombed. This guy would go. He wanted to bomb anything. He's a nut job, but he was good for negotiating purposes. But then after a while, you fire him, and whenever you fire people. Generally, if they have an option, like with me, they have. Most people don't care. It's like they get fired, but there's nobody to write about the boss. But if the boss is famous, they can maybe get a
All presidents are famous.
book deal. So I believe in firing people. For instance, in Afghanistan, Biden should have fired every general.
Right. You believe in firing everybody. Okay. Who set up the plan that they didn't use? What's the plan? You were going to get out with beauty and strength? What was the plan? Who wrote up that plan? Why didn't you fire that guy? They weren't able to implement it in the 4 years you were president. They weren't able to do it after you lost the election and before you handed over power. So, there's, in the time scale, there's no reason why you couldn't have. I mean, but for January 6th, you want to see some real firefights going on. You could have gotten us out of Afghanistan on January 8th, right? You could have spent 15 days getting everybody the fuck out. Right? Could have been ahead of schedule. Right? Why the fuck didn't you get us out? Who wrote up that plan, and why was it the general that wrote that up for you? Were you going to get out with beauty and strength? How come? How come you couldn't implement it? Was it that bad a plan, and why didn't you fire that person?
General and every person involved in that botched job. Moving the soldiers out first. Everything they did.
We didn't move soldiers out first. We brought in 6,000 extra troops to help extract everybody. Like, that's just stupid. And we pulled our troops and our contractors from the farthest reaches of the country because we were no longer controlling the country, nor would we want to. And so we moved those people out of the farthest bases, contracting them towards Kabul. We didn't just leave them in the fucking desert until the embassy was clear for no particular reason except to catch bullets from the Taliban fighters you released from jail. Here's a good idea. Fuck when you bring the troops out. How about this? How about you don't release 5,000 terrorists into the country until after we leave? How about that? Right? How about that? Why would you release 5,000 Taliban fighters first? Fuck who leaves last. Why would you do that first?
They should have all been.
Sorry, Sian, we're almost done.
Leave the military base first in Bagram.
First of all, they should have used Bagram, and then they dropped.
No, they shouldn't have. It's a 90-minute drive from Kabul to Bagram on a 2-lane road in the middle of the fucking desert that is held by ISIS-K. We're not going to put fucking busloads of civilian embassy personnel and people that have helped us in the war in Afghanistan for fucking 20 years and put them in like fucking school buses and drive them for 90 minutes through ISIS-K controlled territory to a base when there's an airport 15 minutes, like a 15-minute walk from the building.
Up Bagram, and China has Bagram right now, and it's a.
Who gives a shit? That's like saying they have our sandcastle.
I was in Bagram. It's amazing.
So it's.
They left it.
Yeah, they left.
They didn't even tell
for what
the locals.
They should.
Locals showed up when there was nobody there.
Yeah, my plan was I was getting out, but keeping Bagram because of China, because it's a.
You can't. Excuse me. You can't get out and stay. You can't. I mean. I shouldn't have to explain what pulling out is to this motherfucker, but you can't stay in and leave at the same time.
Hour away from where they make.
By the way, hit the like, everybody. Share the show if you would. Let people know. We're going to cut this show down into chunks because it's a lot.
Their nuclear weapons. So anyway, that's where it is. That's the saddest story in maybe the most embarrassing story in the history of our country.
No, it isn't. Not by any stretch. How we left is no more embarrassing than the fact that we stayed there for 20 fucking years. Every day past the point when we knew we shouldn't have been there, which was a decade earlier, that we were spending $300 million a day in Afghanistan. Every day after that was the most embarrassing.
That whole Afghanistan.
Including the entirety of his presidency, where apparently he came in with a plan to leave immediately and didn't do shit.
We were getting out, but we were going to get out with dignity and strength.
We weren't going to get out. You just said we're going to stay in Bagram. We're going to keep Bagram. You can't stay and leave.
And we were going to get out. It was going to be...
No, we weren't.
We had to get out. It was 20 years, 21 years. It was ridiculous.
Why didn't you get out at fucking 18 years? Right?
But we were going to keep Bagram because of China. We didn't keep it.
Can I ask you a hypothetical?
Then we weren't going to leave.
Go on that. Say, I mean, obviously we can't prove a counterfactual, but you're the president. Say that 2020 debacle doesn't happen, and you're sitting there in the Oval. I agree. We had to get out of there. Do you say to them, the Taliban, here's the deal, brothers. We are leaving, but I'm telling you right now, you touch a hair on the head of one of our people, we are going to rain hellfire.
But I did say that. We didn't have any soldier shot after I spoke with Abdul.
Yeah, because it was part of the conditional surrender. That's what he did. That's the only phrase for what he negotiated with the Taliban was a conditional surrender. We will leave by this date as long as you don't kill our people. We don't give a fuck if you kill Afghans. We don't give a fuck if you string up women. We don't give a fuck if you set fire to a fucking school. But don't shoot any of our soldiers or we're going to bomb a bunch of sites. But if you don't do that, if you can kill anybody but us, we'll be out by March. And then you fuckers can do whatever the fuck you want. Fill your boots. They didn't not kill us because they were afraid or not kill us because they were worried about retaliation in any way. They didn't kill our soldiers because that was the promise. You don't do it, we'll fucking leave. What other phrase but conditional surrender is that? Because it wasn't a negotiated peace between the fucking Afghan government and the Taliban that he did. He left the Afghan government completely out of it. It was a conditional surrender. That's what he negotiated. And by the way, he's lately been saying that they were failing to meet those points anyways in the conditions.
Abdul, the leader of the Taliban. Yeah. We didn't have any soldier, not one soldier for 18 months was killed. And Biden actually admitted that at a speech a few years ago. He said, well, I have to say, no soldier's been killed. We were losing a lot of soldiers over there with Obama.
And you.
I said that if you do it, I don't want to say exactly what I said because it's not appropriate, but I said, you better not shoot our soldiers. We didn't.
All right, first of all, he's lying. Secondly, he's told us a bunch of times. I don't want to say it. Well, you've said it a bunch of times. You showed him a picture of your house, and he's like, oh, why do you show me a picture of my house? And he called me your excellency. We've heard the story.
Have one soldier killed, Dan.
Yeah.
Think of it, in 18 months. And then this horrible thing happened. They should have left from Bagram, number one, not for that base.
Moron. No. Stupid idea.
And
Again, hold on. You're moving an entire embassy staff, everybody. And there's an airport, which is plenty functional for everything you're doing, and you can protect the city. There's police and there's other stuff. There's still the functioning government at the time when it starts to happen. Never mind how fast it fell because of all the released criminals that this fucker let loose. But so instead of having everybody in the embassy take small transports 5 blocks to the... Well, fuck this. Hold on 1 second. Let me show you this because I know I'm dragging this on. Let me do it. Kabul airport map. Okay. So, boink. Let's try this. Civilian side, main entrance. I'm going to try I need a map, like a regular map area. There. Hold on. I'll just look at a regular map. Kabul map. Okay. So here's city. Oh God, let's use city map. That's what I need. Kabul city map. Okay. So get out of here. Back up, you silly thing. And open image in new tab. There we go. Okay. So let's see if this is where the American school is. Let's see. I'm trying to find the little Pakistan. There's the mosque. TNT office. Hold on. Control minus. Okay. So, in general, here you go. Boink. Commas. There you go. There, open to here. Sorry. All right. So, effectively, the airport is down over in this side, just down this side of the city, and effectively the fuck. I wish I had the full map on here, but effectively you're walking from basically here to here. It's like, or driving or having a truck take you about 6 blocks to get this through an area that they had controlled. They blocked off these roads and these roads and these roads to keep people out or whatever. And the only way this ISIS K fighter snuck in is because the Taliban let him. And that would be the fuckers that actually nearly killed, they killed 13 of our people, 45 injured, and then killed 178 other Afghans on the civilian side of the airport.
We lost 13 soldiers.
Can't remember a name of one of them.
Many really badly hurt, with the legs and the arms and the whole thing.
And the whole thing, including the face.
We have Americans left behind. Yes.
No, we don't. We do not. We did not leave Americans behind. We have dual citizenship people who are in the opium trade who stayed.
Some very good people left behind, too, that maybe should have come with us.
Oh, yeah? Like who?
They had that airlift, which was terrible, with people falling off the planes. It was so bad. And we left behind $80 billion worth of equipment.
No, it didn't.
Biden never recovered from that. Everybody...
What the fuck are you talking about? You never recovered from that, you liar.
saw what a loser he
Biden
was
is a grossly incompetent man, but here's the best.
Okay, asshole. Explain why you didn't get out at all. He got us out. Talk about grossly incompetent. We're out. We're not in Afghanistan. We're not spending $300 million a day in Afghanistan propping up a government that was failing. We're not involved in that country anymore. We're out. You set the date. He met it. He added 90 days to it so we could get more of our allies out, and then we're done. We haven't been in Afghanistan since Biden's first year in office. Fuck you, bye-bye. To be grossly incompetent, we'd have to still be there. That's what this asshole is. Grossly incompetent means running on Afghanistan and staying there.
Bad news. She's worse.
Oh,
she is
horrible.
More incompetent than Biden.
Yeah, no, she's horrible. Can I ask you a really...
Hey, Dan, I got to get going.
I'm sorry.
They're going crazy.
All right. Folks, I'm sorry. We got to wrap it up with the president. You got a little thing called the campaign coming up, and you got to go win. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you from my audience. I'm really... Oh, can I ask you one small favor? We're going to do election night coverage, and I want to do, Franklin Graham, Samaritan's Purse. Yeah. So I want to auction off a Donald Trump signed Bongino baseball.
Good.
And give it to Franklin Graham. Would you be...
A Bongino base... Sorry, Bongholio, do you use that to plug your rectum after taking this shit?
Kind enough to sign it on camera,
I would do it,
and that way everybody knows it's real. I would so deeply. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Mr. President. I think we could raise a fortune for Franklin Graham. You like that? Someone made a listener made
plenty
that
of
for us.
movement on it,
and we are going to auction this off, and everything. Franklin.
Plenty of movement on it? You mean because it's round?
Graham, Samaritan's Purse. Coming your way. I know you like Franklin a lot.
Job.
He's doing an amazing job. I just want to make sure everybody knows it's real.
He's not doing a good job. Kamala. She's not doing a good job.
The worst. You're right.
What are you talking about? She's beating you in all the swing state polls right now. If she's doing a terrible job, you're fucked.
Biden was better. They were better off with him. There it is. We are going to raise a fortune for charity.
I mean, I don't have anything against them raising money for charity. That ain't going to do it, dummy.
100% to charity. There you see it, folks. President Donald J. Trump. Justin, grab.
Sorry. Is there a problem that Bongholio has that a lot of his viewers think he's selling bullshit Trump-signed stuff? Like it's not real? Or does Trump sell so much bullshit, nobody knows what's real anymore? Ah.
Have that, Sharpie. We appreciate it so much. Mr. President, thanks a lot. Best of luck in the campaign. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Wow, this is amazing. We're going to do it.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, this is, I guess.
That's like the old days.
I'll let Margo know how much money we raised for this.
I gotta go. And he doesn't, they're not filming him getting up from the chair. Well, that was long. Thanks, guys. I went extra long. I thought that would be relatively short compared to some other shit.